Hello everyone, it's Vigi here today, and I'm back with more 1066 gameplay. Today I'll actually be doing the campaign, which is like nice. So anyways, in the campaign or story mode or whatever you want to call it, you have like 3 different difficulties as you can just see. And basically there's 3 different stages, and each has like a historical battle in it. Like this one, you'll see. I'm just gonna keep silent and let the movie play for itself.
The victors would change England forever. The English, led by the newly crowned King Harold Godwinson. The Normans, their Duke William of Normandy eager to extend his territories. The Vikings, fearless, warlike, and fronted by the great King Harold Hardrada. England, the home of the Anglo-Saxon people, was a wealthy and fertile land, jealously desired by its neighbours. The new English king, Harold Godwinson, fearing imminent attack from Duke William of Normandy, marched his armies to the south coast to protect his lands. Unbeknown to Harold, the Normans were not the only people prepared to wage war to take his crown. Crossing the treacherous seas from Norway, the great King Harold Hardrada led the fearless Viking army. Landing near Scarborough, the invasion of England began. The Englishmen of the north, led by 2 powerful earls, marched to meet the invaders outside the city of York. The Battle of Fulford had begun.
Alright, so that was pretty interesting. Anyway, so this is the Battle of Fulford, as the cutscene just said, and I was just gonna... I mean, you could change the points for, like, the units that you wanted to buy, but I was just like, heck, you know, why not just use the standard setup. Anyway, so here I'm commanding, who am I commanding? Oh, right, the Vikings, and I'm just setting up my troops because I don't really have anything else to do at this point. Now, I don't really like playing the Vikings or playing the English that much because I just find the games are a lot slower since troop movement is like really flippin' slow, and it's a lot of melee fights. But I mean, it is a nice change from like the Norman like cavalry battles or anything. So there I got a pretty decent shot. I probably should have aimed a bit, like the angle should have been a bit lower because I only hit 2 units there, but you know, who cares. So he's gonna nail my, actually what are those? I think they're my warriors, they're my like lower tier troops or whatever. So they're kind of like, I guess you could say the meat shield almost, but they'll be doing most of the fighting. My Varanian Guard, I'm not sure if I'm slaughtering that name or not, but those are my like good units anyways. So I don't really bother doing taunts at the beginning of the game since not much is gonna happen. Taunts are usually more effective like later on, mid-game, around that. So here it's a lot of just troop movement, getting into position. And the good thing about this map is that it is a pretty open map, which means that I can get off some charges, and you can also see like some special formations, like as you can see the shield wall by my 3 warriors, like the sword units. Ill form. Excuse me. Yeah, I probably should mention that I'm like recording this at like midnight, so I'm probably not gonna be 100% here, but you know, I'll do my best because when else am I gonna record, huh? So, interestingly enough, England here, just like in the story, they said that England brought 2 of their earls who marched up to fight the Vikings. So in this battle, you actually have like 2 quotation marks general units. So if you kill or rout either of them, their entire army takes like a massive morale drop. Excuse me. So that's pretty interesting. I mean, it's kind of a disadvantage for them, but also an advantage because typically the general units have like a lot better stats, and you know, they can take on regular units in combat like easy peasy. So here I'm gonna try and hit the front units, and I was successful there. Like, we killed a decent amount in total. Maybe not, we didn't kill that much in like per unit, but I mean, hey, I'm not really complaining too much because archers are just kind of there to harass the enemy, pick up some kills here and there. So they're going to fire into my archer. Oh, okay, they actually missed there. My bad. Awful shot. Which is, I'm completely fine with. Like, no complaints. If you want to miss my troops, a-okay. So now we're doing the classical like fighting scene, and I do admit that this part of the battle does get kind of grindy because it's just a bunch of front lines fighting each other. There's no real big tactics other than what I call, okay, it's not really what I call, it's what most people call, but psycho charges. It's basically you charge in a unit into one enemy unit, then you retreat that unit and then charge it back in, because you get a bonus when you charge. And I mean, like, it's not just this game, like in Total War games you'll also get a charge bonus and whatnot. So I like to keep my general close to the fight, mainly because I can use him as like an actual unit just to like reinforce the lines, or just get like a vicious charge on another unit. And B, I just find it a lot easier to manage him when he's in the thick of the fight compared to when he's just sitting in the corner being kind of useless, like Earl Edwin right there. I mean, I would personally move that up, but I guess England doesn't have too many options. So he's actually going to pull back his spear militia, because I guess my Varangian Guard is just like so much better than his like crappy militia, so he's just like, nah, not about that life. So I get a pretty okay shot there. Like, I'm not trying to go after his archers right now because I don't care about his archers. He can kill as many of my archers as he wants, but you know, as long as I can destroy his front line, then I should be alright. So taunts usually, okay, not usually, but you type these out. However, it's a lot of kind of like, I guess you could say luck when it comes to this. I mean, sometimes you get a really easy taunt to type out, and other times you get like a four-word one is just annoying as hell. So my front line is clashing with his front line right now, but I'm sending in my warriors against his Huskarls, and his Huskarls are really good. They're like the quotation marks better unit of the English army, since there's only like, I believe, technically 4 different units. So yeah, you can see that there's even though we're like matching evenly in attacks, I am losing more men than him. But right now on the bottom, I'm just trying to break through that point right there, and I'm just gonna go through like more psycho charges. I'm not really sure why I bothered to fortify that unit, especially since he's not gonna be charging into me. But you know, whatever. So mashing spacebar time, everyone's favorite game of the day. Let's go. So that was a pretty good charge into his Huskarls. 134 for 67. We killed almost double of what they killed of us. So here I'm just gonna go after his infantry troops again. I got like a terrible shot that time. So it was probably better going after the archers in that case, but whatever. Okay, I did pretty well typing game. I like that. Now, it's a bit awkward to talk about things after a while, because this game is, I do really like the idea of it and the concept, but I find the gameplay is like kind of bland after a while. It's just like slow, and although I do like the tactics and what, like right now it's just a slugfest. You're not really having many tactics and whatnot, you're just kind of having like a big brawl in the center. I mean, like, who doesn't? Oh, I missed a bunch of I don't really know what to call it, arrow keys, I suppose. So that kind of hurt a lot. And we're gonna fight again, but I believe I pull out my warriors soon, because although they are in a special format just like his Huskarls, where shield wall, where they get like extra defense and whatnot, his Huskarls are gonna be a lot better in the long run. So yeah, here I actually just pull my warriors back, and I send up my Varangian Guard just to like hold the line. Like, this is our new shield wall. And right now I'm just kind of like skirmishing him down with my archers and like getting those extra morale bonuses with my general. Now I could theoretically taunt with like my other unit up in the top, but I just don't really feel like it because taunting, I have to admit, does take quite a bit of time after a while. It's just tedious, especially when you have multiple units taunting on the same turn. It's just don't really want to bother with it. So that was a pretty brutal charge, like 133, 67. I guess that's what we had last time, but you know, still pretty good. So that one, like this time we got lucky on the taunt. I can't ask for much better than that. But I screwed up and we only got good. Oops. So I decided not to go after his infantry units after I realized I wasn't killing many of them. I was just like, okay, well maybe we should start going after his archers, but yeah. I guess it didn't really make too much of a difference anyways. So now we're just fighting in the middle, big brawl. This is what people like to see nowadays, or at least some people like to see nowadays. I mean, who doesn't? I'm actually going to move up this Varangian Guard one space because I want to be able to charge into that Spear Militia unit afterwards. And I don't really have much to do, to be honest. It's just a bunch of fighting in the middle. As you can see on the very bottom row, I am breaking that Huskarl unit, and once I break through that unit, I'm just going to start sending troops through and start outflanking him. But those Huskarls are going to fight on for quite a bit because they are such a good unit. Here, I did okay, I guess. I'm not sure why I switched back to going after the infantry units. I suppose it's because I noticed that, like, his bottom unit right there is like pink, glowing pink, breaking-ish. So the CPU actually decides to go after my troops for once, which was actually a pretty good trade-off for him. I mean, he did kill some of his men, but hey, he doesn't have as many troops there as me right now, and he needs to start killing. So as you can see now, we're getting like slightly better trade-offs. Like, I mean, it's around equal, but his units have been fighting for a lot longer than mine. So we're just gonna finish them up and then see what else we can get from this. There we go, there we go. Also take note of the morale. Like right now it's like 86 morale to 71 morale. Really, that morale, I probably explained this last video, but I'm gonna explain it again. So morale basically circulates around whether or not you like kill your enemy, you break them. Like if you have an enemy breaking, then you're gonna have morale. They're gonna lose morale. Yeah, sorry, words are very hard. And for example, if you get a really good taunt, then sometimes you can cause like morale issues for them. And so I actually move up my general here because I was charging that Varangian Guard into his Spear Militia. I didn't want his general to then outflank my my guard and then like hack them to pieces. Except that I screwed up in the placing and I accidentally unchecked the Varangian Guard, because you can uncheck units that you've already made a move in order to like get rid of that move, but then it screws up the order of it as well. So now we're charging into the Spear Militia unit, but I didn't realize that unit had fortified. So basically, fortifying a unit makes it, I guess, not really immobile, but as long as it doesn't move, it gets like a big defense bonus, and there we go. His front line actually broke there. Both Huskarl units just fled. Oh no, my bad, just one. I'm actually surprised that the middle unit fled before his bottom one, because his bottom one's been fighting for a long time, and it's been glowing pink for a while. Like, you see that little pink ring around his circle? That's like when your troops are having really crap morale. Oh, sorry about that. So as of now, I was pretty confident of winning. What can I say? CPU, I may have made it easy for myself, but shrug. Just regular taunts, day-to-day basis. Let's go. Enemy is preferring fire. So yeah, that was a pretty good trade-off for him again, because most of the troops that he's firing at are mine, not his anyways. And I mean, like, who cares? I mean, eh. He's running out of options anyways. So I forgot to mention, but there's another formation. Oh my god, that was dirty fight right there. 351 to like 94 lost or something. Oh, so we actually outflanked that unit and killed it, and that last Huskarl unit actually just broke off the field. So another formation that I made right there, well, okay, what's in the game, but I just happened to utilize, is called the Boar's Snout or something. And basically it just increases your attack by a lot. Now, as you can see, next to a unit's morale or whatever, you'll see like 5 boxes for attack and defense, and that's basically like a unit's strength and whatnot. Now, I'm not particularly sure like what's the maximum it can go up to, because the maximum it will display is around is 5. I believe that's 5. I'm not sure. Maybe my counting game is off because I am like looking at it from afar. But either way, I'm pretty sure that your attack values can go higher because you could have all these special abilities, and for example, like when you charge, but I don't really know and I haven't really checked. So I actually wanted to charge into his one of his general units there, but he instead the general came to me, so he's like, "Oh, bruh, you can't do this. You're breaking my army. Like, I'm just gonna take the fight to you." And he just slaughtered my guard, like, rip in peace. That was pretty painful. I mean, right now I'm still feeling pretty confident considering the amount of troops I have left, but that was kind of just an error on my part. Oops. So we're fighting again, and we actually cleaned up the spear militia unit, which is pretty good. Yeah, everyone in that warrior unit is getting a raise once you get back home. So his archer's gonna fire again, and they miss. Hey, that's pretty good. So because I screwed up the ordering of my movement, of my troop movement, my spears actually end up fighting his general, which I did not want. Well, okay, I did want them to fight, but I wanted them to get a charge bonus off, which they didn't. And as you can see, he just like completely slaughtered them right there. So that one general unit's racking up kills big time. I mean, we are wearing them down, well, whittling them down, my bad. But this is quite annoying because I thought I'd be doing a lot better than them. Well, okay, I am, but you get the idea. Like, they're not going down without a fight. And I mean, I guess, what can you expect from Englishmen? Sorry about that. I'm kind of sick, probably because I climbed the CM Tower today. And okay, it wasn't from the climb itself, but damn, that thing's high. But afterwards, I went out like on the observatory deck or something and just kind of screwed around there. So that's probably my bad. So I didn't realize that my Varangian Guard were actually close to breaking, and I sent them in to fight his other Earl, and just so happened to get slaughtered there. So I sent in my warriors to outflank that I think it was like Earl Edwin in the top corner, in the top row. But as soon as they outflanked him, and they just broke off the field, and I was like, oh, yeah, that was a terrible shot by me. Oops. Sorry about shooting my own men in the back, but you know, it's okay. Everyone who lives gets extra food, yeah. So we're still probably gonna win this anyways. Now I am fighting with that one general. Now, if I were the CPU in this situation, I'd be like switching. Oh, okay, doesn't matter at this point since I just killed Earl Edwin. So as you can see, his morale shattered. Like, it was at like what, 22 or something, 30 something. I'm not really paying attention, to be honest, but it was at a much higher level. And as you can see, well, we just won. Tried attacking everything else, and they just ran off the field. So not exactly the best battle by me, but hey, it were all worked out in the end, and the Vikings conquered this land. Evil laughter. Anyways, thanks for watching. Goodbye.